Well, good morning. Good morning. Sun's coming up. Got my coffee. And as the sun comes up, got my notes. I just wanted to share with you some things that are going on with the real estate market today. And I get asked the question an awful lot, actually. And I was asked just yesterday. Again, are you guys busy in Florida? Well, yes, we are. So let me tell you why. Let me just jump right into this and hope you don't mind. It's early morning out here with the sun coming in, and I thought I'd share some of these real estate trends that are happening right now. Have my coffee while we're at it. Hope you don't mind. You could probably grab yours if you'd like. Let's get right to this. So, the real estate market, what's happening, especially down here in Florida. We're going to get to Florida in a moment, but as you watch the sun come up this morning, the market data. So the market data has always been a powerful tool for real estate, but 2020 marked a new high point for how data was leveraged to encourage informed decisions and to help real estate professionals reinforce their status as market experts. This is a quote from Showing Time. These are all the reasons that help counter all of the news that was out there, quoting the home equity many times last year. So we went through the home equity last year many times. We'll take a look at this slide as well. And we now have the last 6 recessions, and during 3 of the recessions, the home prices actually increased. And as we kick off 2021, notice that the home price increase has helped us with, and take a look at this slide. Now I'm going to add some more in here, and I might take away your sunrise for just a few moments, but I wanted you to know what's happening in the real estate market. The growth of home equity. Home equity is the star of 2020. Imagine that, something out of 2020 that could possibly be a star. Less people going into foreclosure than anticipated, and this helps many people weather the storm. I know, it's beautiful. It stops me as well. Over the past year, strong home price growth has created a record level of home equity for homeowners. The average family with a home mortgage loan had $194,000 in home equity in the third quarter. We didn't have that back when the recession occurred. I lived through it, and maybe you did too, which is why a lot of people are concerned about what's happening right now. That number before was $177,000 and has grown to $194,000 just as we begin 2021. This provides an important buffer to protect families if they experience financial difficulties, and one reason for the generational low in foreclosure rates. Now I have some clients that are sitting around waiting and they're saying, oh, everything's going to go into foreclosure. That's why I'm sharing this with you today. This is quoted from Frank Nothap. He's the chief economist at CoreLogic. Hope I said your name correctly, Frank. This slide has some very important information, not as though all of them don't. $17,000 average gain in equity of mortgaged homes, and that number from just a moment ago, $194,000 in the current average equity. The number on the bottom left is significantly different than 2008. If you notice at the bottom left of this graph, I'm putting it over here probably, but notice the bottom left, 38.2%. 38.2% of all homes. Let me repeat that, because this is what tells us about the potential, people are talking about recession and about the prices dropping. 38.2% of all homes are owned free and clear. That means they don't have any equity. That means that they don't have any mortgage on their property. So they're owned free and clear. So going into foreclosure just isn't even a possibility. And they own their own home. So why would they go into foreclosure? We didn't have that back when we went through the recession, especially here in Florida. People were mortgaging their properties to buy other things that didn't have the value of their real estate. So they might put, as an example, they went from Palm Beach County, and this happened a lot, Palm Beach County and Broward County, and if you don't know where those are, ask me, drop me a line in the comment, I'll explain those, or ask me and I'll do a video about each one of the counties and where they're located. But they were moving from the south to the north. And what was happening is they were taking their home down south, which is what we tend to call it here, down south, and they were pulling all of the equity out of their house. So let's say they had a $300,000 house. They pulled $290,000 or $250,000 of equity out of that house. They would go north to, let's say, Port St. Lucie. And then they would buy a house there with the equity from their previous house, which means now they have 2 mortgages on 2 separate properties. What happens when the real estate market goes down? Well, now they have 2 houses with 2 mortgages. That's not what's happening. Right now, as we said in those previous slides, 38.2% of people own their home free and clear. So they're not pulling equity from that house to buy another house. They own that home. So here's the entire United States, and I brought this up to someone yesterday. Here's the entire United States, and look at all the home equity growth. In 2008, there was a misuse of home equity, as I just explained. And as you can see, the states that were dramatically impacted in 2008 are even seeing an increase in home equity. Hopefully this doesn't get too bright for you now, because Mother Nature has definitely made that sunrise, which is one of the reasons that I loved this scene. This quote is from CEO of CoreLogic. The housing market has remained a strong pillar in an otherwise tumultuous economic year. This is a bit blurry for many people right now. What is ahead in 2021? Although nobody has a crystal ball, although we do have this beautiful sunrise, but we don't have a crystal ball, and I never claim to have one. But I do pull information from people who are much more intelligent than me, and you will hear me say that periodically. We can check the facts and historical trends. These market updates help me educate buyers and sellers. You want to work with an educated real estate professional, don't you? And think about that for a moment. You want to work with an educated real estate agent, don't you? You don't care that my hair is not done and that it's raw and real this morning, or that I'm letting you see, or not letting you, that I'm sharing with you the sunrise this morning. You want an expert in the field that understands what's happening in the real estate market and has some experience to be able to guide you. David Mealy, the president of Homes.com, says, the surge in the work from home population has rewritten the playbook for many home buying and rental decisions. It may have impacted you and your decision. So many are buying homes with an additional room for homeschooling, might be you, working from home, might be you, and even, I know some people that are doing in-home gyms. I'm wondering if the home builders are taking note of this change in trends, and I think they are, but that's my personal opinion. This happens to be a particular quote from Mark Fleming, the chief economist of First American. Despite the best intentions of home builders to provide more housing supply, the big short in housing supply will continue into 2021 and likely keep house price appreciation flying high, going up. So no one's talking about it going down. And that's what I'm hearing from some people locally. So I just wanted to get this out there so that you would know what's really happening in the big picture. Freddie Mac is still anticipating 2.6% house price increase, going up, house price increase. And Realtor.com is suggesting 6%. So I think this helps to answer the question, is now a good time to buy? That's a decision you have to make, but I'm here to give you some of this information so that you can make that decision, an educated decision. What about economic recovery? There are a lot of people saying this could be worse than the Great Recession, which was basically 2006 to 2016. Unemployment projections are an important part of the economic recovery, and as you can see from this slide, the Fed projections are in green. The Wall Street Journal survey is in blue. So these are people other than me giving you this information. I'm sharing it with you. It is anticipated that people will get back to work and unemployment rates will begin to go down. That's why we have these notes. What's happening with forbearance? This is another big question. This is from the Home Price Expectation Survey for the fourth quarter. The question asked, what percentage of these 2.7 million homeowners do you estimate will, 58% resume payments. I have someone in this situation now. 24% will list within 1 year. So you know what that means. More property is likely to come on the market within 1 year. And 18% will receive a foreclosure notice within 1 year. This is over a 2-year period. So people are anticipating right now, all the prices are going to go down. I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to wait until the prices go down. I've heard things like that. These are things other people are saying. We will have some forbearance and foreclosures. Of course we will. We have them at all times in the real estate market. And if you need help and you might be in the 18% or the 24%, definitely give me a call. Text me. My information's below. Like, subscribe, all of those things if you choose to. But I'd like for you to know that I have lots of experience through the Great Recession. So if you're in that situation, you're in that 18 or 24%, I can definitely help you. I also can do virtual consultations through your house if that helps too. So here to assist always with whatever options may be out there. Chief economist for MBA says we're going to start to see mortgage rates drift up with treasury rates as opposed to moving in the opposite direction. So interest rates have been going down, down, down. We're starting to see them tick up. So this might be a time for you to buy a property because this next slide that tells you actually how it impacts you. And it's very important to know how it impacts you. So what would that mean on a $300,000 mortgage? Let's just take a neutral number of $300,000. And as you can see here, if the interest rate goes up from 2.7% to 3.4%, the monthly payment difference would be $189 per month. Now, for some people in the $300,000, that might not be, but if you happen to be on retirement, right? Or if you're doing that move up and your child's gone off to college, or maybe it's your first home, $189 per month would be the change. So why would you buy a home now? Well, I have at least 2 great reasons right now. Anticipated $54,000 in equity over the next 5 years on a $300,000 home and a low interest rate that becomes fixed for 30 years. Those are 2 great reasons to buy right now. So for many people, the rent will continue to go up next year and the year after and the year after. I know in Palm Beach County in particular, properties that I used to rent, and I just did this for a client, we used to rent the property at $1,500. Over 10 years, they are at over $2,000. So it was a $500 increase. It doesn't seem like an awful lot, but just think about what is happening in another 10 years and how much that could increase and where you would be if you paid for your house and your payment stayed the same. You would also be paying down your house. You would have a lower mortgage and you would own your home, which means your rent would be fixed. Not your rent, but at that point it would be your mortgage. So I think that gives you some of the reasons, that really was what I wanted to cover, some of the reasons why it might be a great time for you to buy. So I hope that you've enjoyed this sunrise with me this morning, my yoga pants and coffee and real estate, right? Let's take another sip. Enjoy this sunrise this morning. And I sure hope for you that it's a fabulous day. If you've got any questions and you want to know more of this information, also you could even share it with some of your friends, your colleagues, your family, since it does encompass the entire United States and what's really happening across the United States. I also have reports that are locally on each one of the Florida counties and the Treasure Coast. We've got Palm Beach County, we have St. Lucie County, Martin County. We go as far down into Broward County. So if you have some questions about the local real estate market, or maybe you're moving into the state from somewhere else and you'd like to know some more information locally, reach out, give me a call, text, email me. Everything's down below in the information. And then if you'd like to and you want to know a little bit more about maybe who I am or hear something from what someone else has to say, actually that might be a great one. Let's hear what somebody else has to say. So you can go ahead and I'll link a video down in the bottom. It might be in the bottom, I'm not sure right now, but either take a look in the bottom information or take a look over here. I will link another video for you so that you can hear what other people have to say. Hope you've enjoyed this beautiful sunrise this morning. Have a great day.